Um, Hi friends. This is my third video. I want to emphasize certain things which is right now taking place in India in particular regarding socio political economic entities. The reason I'm putting this video is um, I think it is a time to think a little bit about our culture and to look back from where we came and how we reached the status that we have as India as a secular democratic country and enjoying the free liberal democratic um, freedom that we had. Um, when 2002 Vajpayee was the prime minister under the umbrella government of BJP, Bharatiya Janata Party, which doesn't portray any religion in their logo or also um, in their propaganda. But when Modi came in 2014, what happened? He was able to indirectly portray Hinduism as a religion. He did that very cleverly, uh, not pronouncing in a straightforward fashion, but indirectly, but just enough for common, ordinary people in all levels to understand what he meant, starting with the Gujarat massacre and the separation of people in terms of religion. Um, Jawaharlal Nehru was the person who introduced scientific temper and secularism, the projection of secularism in a multilinguistic, multi um, religious country, and to implement the laws based on secularism in a multi-religious country was his idea with Ambedkar, the genius who came from a very lower end, lower side, and coming to the higher end, seeing all aspects of life, was able to give or render the perfect constitution that we were enjoying. That was secularism. But India was divided based on a religion, and we saw the atrocities happened at that time when a religion or an ideology or any ideology, fascism or Nazism or nationalism um, or religion, uh, the religious ideology used at that time separated countries, took the freedom away from people, made the separated entities a religious country with the religious laws and took away taking away the freedom from normal people living like slaves and taking away secularism is as you all know just like putting a parrot inside a golden cage. Freedom is everything for a person, um, freedom comes first. Doesn't matter. You are in jail and you have billions of dollars of assets outside. It is not worth for you. So freedom comes number first. And religion, right now, it should be in a recycle bin. If needed, we can take it back again later. But I don't think we need that. The reason I'm saying this is because the current political situation, uh, being BJP having the second hold for 5 years, uh, portraying religion indirectly. Hindu was not a religion, it was a culture, it was a way of living and believing in God everywhere and looking upon you and saying you are the God, which coined the famous term Tatvamasi. But what is the problem when you divide people based on a religion? India, as you know, is a majority Hindu country. If you are sowing the seed of religion to the people using different um, gadgets, the problem here is um we have the religion back of our head. We don't use that. We just use it as a social entity to go to churches and privately uh, celebrating and as a private social element. But right now, uh, the religion is being bought from our hind side, from our back of our brain to our frontal cortex, where the thinking is based on religion happens. And that is a very dangerous situation. Um, right now, Kerala is the only place where communism is existing. It's vanishing like almost everywhere, like a flame um, which arsons in a high posture when it's about to die. In India, the in the tail part, that flame is actually nearing to uh, that death situation. It started from Bengal, from the middle, and it's coming all the way back to Kerala, which is the tail, and finally, that will merge to the ocean, where all ideologies, all um, emotions, all feelings, whatever man made can be, and uh, as serving as a receiver, that ideology will also finally will merge to Arabic Ocean. But saying that, um, we know eventually Kerala will be a part of BJP because Kerala as a small state cannot um, hold by itself the large momentum of the political party, the major political party, and single entity, the monopolistic regime. We cannot hold that against them for a long time. So we will be eventually a part of them. So now Hindu is becoming a religion, and we are nearing to Pakistan. The only difference between them and us was the secularism part, and that has been taken away. And once this happens, uh, we will have religious laws and dictatorships. More atrocities will happen, just like another other religious countries. We don't want that. We are much more educated and much more thinking people. Okay, now what I'm going to say is there is a solution for this. I think BJP was able to portray the fate of a religion, um, Hindu Hinduism or Hindutva in people's mind was by opening and adding additional channels the whole country wide. More and more Hindu channels were opened, and Hindu propaganda was made, and Bhagavad Gita and our um, Hindu religious books were portrayed, and their ideas were constantly portrayed and constantly applied to people's mind, which will bear results. Just like how a whole nation was able to turn against Jew using propaganda by Joseph Goebbels in Hitler era. Mm. So that that also started as a small initial movement, which we could not control later, and which ended in a Second World War and the atrocities and the 60 million deaths. So, what can we do here? I think the main problem is there are a lot of subdivisions based on a religion in our country, and they're actually hiding, and they are using the propaganda, um, hiding, um, to boost their self-interest and power and acquiring money through years. They have power. Money brings power, so they have money. They have institutions, hospitals, colleges, schools, everywhere in small segments. They have political parties based on the religion, which could influence the government. So the government has to abide with them. And this was happening for a long time. And one time it was controlled. It was in controlled fashion. But right now, some certain greedy people went the whole 9 yards, and right now it's out of hands. So it became exposed from the hidden aspect to the uh, to the real canvas, so everybody can see. So everybody's seeing that right now, and they understand that the real situation is something which fuels the arson to common ordinary people, the idea of Hindutva in their mind. My personal view in this matter is all public institutions like schools, hospitals, colleges, in the name. functioning in the name of a religion should be dismantled. And even though uh, they have public government subsidies and is government affiliated and looks like government affiliated, their works and their assets worldwide are um, in trillions. So, I mean, it's not isolated in one point. It's just like segmented and divided in everywhere, and they are very uh, successful in that way, separating and ruling and governing and influencing the government and and our democratic process, which finally, when exposed, people saw the real India, and now they are thinking about, okay, we don't have anything, they have everything. This is our country. This is a Hindu country. We are the majority, and still they have all the power, all the money, and the government in their side. It's very normal for people to think that way. So, unless this is changed, the all private religious institutions operating country-wise with false names and false money and not paying taxes and having an umbrella and protection in the name of charity, using dirty tactics to fool government and for their self-interest and grow personally, making it democratic in plain sight and operating that in a fascist way underneath. Recently, um, just like Dilip got caught, which was happening for a long time, one time it will get exposed. This happened by the arrest of Robin and Franco, and what was happening in this Christian missionary sects and convents and schools and institutions and madams where sisters live, and the laws and the separate law they have, the Canaan law, whatever, and their links with the Vatican, and they making their own laws and stuff like that. It got exposed just after this uh, incidents. Like a war happens always um, for money uh, and women. We know that. So women is um, women is actually a code or you know a key which accidentally can open to the hidden files and the hidden nature of any entity or any group or any institutions or any political party based on religions. That's how we got exposed to what was happening in one religion, which contributed a major impact in a lot of people's mind that this is not right. Something is happening, which we under, which we are being masked or being avoided or not being told by medias or be being um, submised by purposely using the power and money they have. So uh, we still have time, and there should not be any religious institutions anymore in the name of religion. It's just common for everybody. Capitalism is a wonderful term. Divide and share the work and the money and enjoy the fruits of that. That is not fascism. That's not a religion. That is not a culture based on religion. It's how the world should operate. And that is the most successful political uh, ideology we have right now. Communism came out in a very soothing, comforting way, like equal money, assets, power to everybody. Well, the concept was looked very pleasing and appealing, but it ended up just like uh, North Korea or just like a Stalin or just like a Hitler. So right now, as we know, um, the capitalism don't mean that some people carry all the money and they're controlling us. It's just mean share and divide the money and the work and enjoy the fruits of that. So it's still not too late, but we have time. Modi ji did this. He's a very good person, you know, but I don't blame him. I like him personally, but he was also maybe tired with what was happening in the undercurrent when he involved with the politics. He saw this and he saw that that was not proportional and it should be stopped. And that's why he built this huge statue of Patel, not Gandhi or not Nehru, who actually stood for secularism. So that was a sign that it's the start of another era of religiosity. If you are starting with religion, if you are using propaganda to enrich your religion in a hidden fashion and taking all the money and power, we can also do that. So he is actually signaling that by building the statue of Patel. So just remember, we're also doing it. So think and be smart. It's not still too late to act. That's all I need to share today. And maybe I'll see you in the next video when some new ideas pop up in my mind. I don't say to subscribe or like or anything to my video. It's just to have an interaction with you, which I feel sometimes I feel bored. So some crazy ideas will come up when watching the news, watching the atrocities happening all around the government, all around the world. So uh, we have to react to that. So our ideas will bring new changes. Collective ideas will bring new change or a new healthy, uh, entity will replace uh, the old existing dirty outdated thing which we don't require anymore. So new ideas should come. So I encourage people who have new ideas to come forward and share. It's a nice place. Now we are living in a very futile, rich, social era where everybody can speak. It's not just um, the patent of TV or certain people who only can talk or who only can have a debate or who only can share their ideas and who only uh, can have ideas in their mind and uh, transmit or transpond to the world which we should listen like a radio. We have also now a platform where we can share our ideas too, which sometimes may be a brilliant and much more better than theirs. And they probably have a big TV station, um, big lot of people working for them and for the self-interest, uh, supporting certain governments or certain institutions or certain uh, entities who support them or who sponsor them or finance them and work for their interest and transmit that interest to us and make us believe what is uh, that their ideas are right and other ideas are wrong, which is not right. So now everybody can talk and nobody can fool others. So thank you. It was nice talking to you and have a nice weekend. Bye bye. Until next time.